Let's begin. Today is 7/11, July 11th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle has the following 6 criteria cards. Criteria card 7, 8, 15, 18, 20, and 22. And the puzzle uses the orange verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So on the grid above, we've got our 6 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. And on the bottom row, we've got criteria card D, criteria card E, and finally criteria card F. Criteria card A looks at our last digit, the circle digit, and the Turing machine will let us know whether that value is an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card B will look at the 3-digit solution, and the Turing machine will let us know how many of those digits should be 1. Should there be no 1? A single 1? Perhaps 2? Maybe even all 3 are 1. Criteria card C will look at our 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, and will let us know which one is the absolute largest. Should triangle be the largest? Perhaps it's square, maybe even circle might be the largest. Criteria card D will again look at our 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, but in this case it'll add them up, and the Turing machine will let us know whether the sum is an even quantity or an odd quantity. Criteria card E will look at the 3-digit solution and will let us know a little bit about how it's structured. Specifically, it can tell us whether there are no repetitions, meaning that all digits are unique, as in the example 125, or it could be a double number where a single digit is repeated, as in the example 112, or it could even be a triple number, a single digit repeated 3 times, as in the example 222. And finally, we have criteria card F, which will let us know a little bit about the ordering of the digits from triangle to square to circle. And the possibilities are that they are in ascending order, meaning that they are increasing, as in the example 135, or they could be in a descending order or decreasing, as in the example 421, or it could even have no order, as in the example 231. Now notice, the fact that it goes from 2 to 3, it increases, and then it goes down from 3 to 1, decreasing. That shift is one way you can define that the 3 digits have no order. Or it could be, similarly decreasing and then increasing. Either case, they're considered to have no order. And remember, the objective of the puzzle is to find that one unique 3-digit code that abides by all of the 6 criteria cards. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to test is I want to know a little bit about that circle digit. So let's go ahead and test criteria card A. Okay, so the Turing machine does not approve. Notice that in my proposal I chose an even 4. The Turing machine is basically telling me, no, that can't be. It must be odd. So let me go ahead and type that up and write that in section A. That circle is an odd digit. And so since it is odd, I'm going to go ahead and cross out the 2 evens, the 2 and the 4. Okay, next I want to know a little bit about the sum of all 3 digits. So let me go ahead and test criteria card D. Oops. So D tells us, okay, so it does approve of the initial proposal. Notice that in 314, if I add up the digits, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. The Turing machine approves that the sum should be even. So let me go ahead and type that up in section D, that triangle plus square plus circle should be an even quantity, or basically simply just even. Okay, and what that tells us is that, well, again, remember, we do have an odd digit in circle. If the overall sum is to be even, that means that there must be one more odd among either triangle or square, and the other is an even. So at least that gives us an idea of, kind of what the three digits could be. So we're looking for, we basically have, in some order, odd and even for triangle and square, and then circle is odd. And well, let's take a look at criteria card E, because perhaps maybe there's a double number or something else. So let's go ahead and test criteria card E. Okay, so again, it does approve of the proposal. Notice that 3, 1, 4 are all unique. So that means that, yeah, there are no repetitions. So let's go ahead and put that down in section E, no repetition. And I will add an additional note, because of what we found out in D, is that you have no repetition with, we'll say, 2 odds and 1 even. Okay, and well, that does it for this turn. And so now we're going into the phase where we'll be discussing what we did in tasks and how we can construct a good second round proposal. Okay, so the one thing I guess I didn't mention is, again, well, maybe it's obvious, since there are no repetitions, you either have some combination of 1, 3, and 5. A 1 and 3, a 1 and 5, or a 3 and 5, and then an even. Okay, so what we didn't test is whether there's a 1 or not. So since there are no repetitions, either there is a 1 or there isn't. And the benefit to that is, even if you do choose 1 and you get an X, the other 2 odds are 3 and 5. Otherwise, if you get a check with a 1 in a proposal, well, there's a 1, and then the other is a 3 or a 5. And then, of course, there's criteria card C, where it tells us there's an absolute largest. It would be interesting if the largest might be a 4, and then you have a 1 and 3. But I'm thinking that may not be, I guess the number is up for debate. Obviously, the specific one, that's another question. But that would be interesting. If the largest is 4, you're kind of forced into 1 and 3. Otherwise, well, I guess even technically, 3 could be the largest. That would be interesting as well. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. But we do have, of course, that criteria card C that'll tell us which is the largest. And then, of course, there's the ordering of the digits. Okay, so again, we do know we have 2 odds. If there's no 1, then we know there's a maximum of 5, because again, the 2 odds would have to be 3 and 5. That would be interesting as well, or there would be no 1. So we're dealing with a 3, 5, and either a 2 or a 4. So the question is, which one would be the largest? Yeah, that's very interesting. So which one could be the largest, and whether there's a 1 or not, and then what the even would be. So let's go ahead and compose something without a 1, where you do have 3 and 5. And so somehow that even is going to be forced into either a 2 or a 4. So how could we do that? Could we do 3, 2, 5? 3, 2, 5. But somehow we would have to force a greatest to make the even 2. And there really isn't anything, well, other than circle being odd. If we end up with circle being the largest, how would you force the other ones to be, say, 3 and 2? That's very interesting. If there's no order, it would have to, and no repetitions, and circle's the largest. Well, let's see, could circle be 3 and you still have some sort of no order? If that's the largest, I guess you could. You could have 2, 1, 3. You could have that as a no order. What about if it's increasing? It'd be 1, 2, 3. So there are a lot of cases. I don't think it could be. I don't think it could be increasing, because increasing would automatically mean that circle's the largest, and you can't have that. And I think vice versa, I don't think it can be decreasing, because then that means that absolutely triangle is the largest. So it has to be no order. That's an interesting deduction, but I think it's sound. And so if there's no order, again, how can we force it? So that's one criteria out of the way. Now, is there a 1 or not? If there's not a 1, and let's say triangle is the largest. I think I like that. If triangle is the largest and there isn't a 1, you couldn't do 5, 3 because you need an even. So that forces it to be 5, 2, 3. Let's go with 5, 2, 3. I think that might work if my assumptions are correct. So let's go ahead and test that. Now the question is, are there an order of criteria that would allow us to say maybe deduce one of them? If I know that triangle is actually the largest and there's no order, then maybe I can deduce that there is no 1. Well, I think actually, you know what? I think I've already deduced that it has to have no order, right? Based on the explanation. So actually, I think I can skip the no order. Let me confirm which is the largest, and then maybe I can even deduce that there's no 1. So let me go ahead and test criteria card C. Okay, so yes, triangle is the absolute largest. So let's see, what can we eliminate? Obviously, triangle can't be 1, and it can't be 2. I guess technically it could be 3, only if, the argument that I laid out for increasing and decreasing being invalid would not work. And I guess technically it could be a 4, 1, 3 if there's a 1. Okay, so let me go ahead and leave it there. And that said, I guess that square, let's see, I think square and circle can't be 5s, can they? Yeah, they can't be 5, because then what would triangle be if indeed triangle is the greatest? So I think we can go ahead and cross out both 5s. And let's see, are there any other things that we can, so we can still keep, the 5, the 4, and the 3, assuming that it's, again, potentially decreasing, although I don't think it could be. And so, so 3, 2, 1. So I think that's all I can cross out. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And so let me now test whether there's a 1 or not. So let me go ahead and test criteria card B. Okay, so it was also correct that there are no 1s. Okay, so let's see. Let me go ahead and cross out both of the remaining 1s. And let's see, can we cross out anything else if, yeah, so I think we can cross out again triangle 3, because even if it were decreasing, there's nothing left to pick for circle. So I think we can cross out 3. And so, yeah, we're left with 4 and 5. And I think, well, let's see, yeah, I think I need to keep thinking decreasing as a sort of default, even though I don't believe it's going to happen. So if triangle is 4, okay, so there you go. It could be 4, 2, 3. Oh, this is interesting. For no order, it could be 4, 2, 3, or as I chose, 5, 2, 3. So what is the difference? Oh, that's interesting. 4, 2, 3, or 5, 2. Oh, no, it can't be 5, 2, 3. Oh, this is interesting. For no order, I think the only possibility, no way, it can't be 4, 2, 3. I've got 2 evens. So yeah, that means it's got to be, if this is the even, yeah, it's got to be 5, 2, 3, because nothing else would work for no order. For decreasing, it would be 5, 4, 3. But I think I'm going to go with my gut instinct and say it's got to be 5, 2, 3 for no order, because again of the reasons I laid out earlier. So I'm going to say 5, 2, 3, and well, this will confirm whether the logic is sound on how I interpreted it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's go test. I'm deducing. Let me actually, well, actually I should have written down here. I was so excited, I forgot to write down for B. There is no 1 digit, and I crossed them out. And then C, wow, I think that was the first thing I did, and I didn't document it. We confirmed that yes, triangle is the largest. So let me go ahead and write that down in C. Is the largest. Oops. Okay. And for F, I'm going to write down that I'm deducing that there's no order. There we go. Okay. And so 5, 2, 3 looks like the correct solution, but let's confirm on turingmachine.info. 5, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. Now, that doesn't conclusively prove that my argument is correct, but I feel confident. All right, but let's check with the Turing machine, and I feel confident because we were able to deduce criteria card F to be no order, and we tested A, D, E, and A was the only incorrect. So A was incorrect, D, E were correct, In the second round, we only tested B and C, and both of those were correct, and we skipped F. So I really feel confident about this. Wow. Okay. So we just beat it by 1, which that is also surprising. I thought it would have been at least 2, but I'm happy for the win. If you have any comments about the order of things that I tested, or if you'd like to confirm any assertions that I've made, please do add those to the comments. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up so that more people can find our channel. And if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, please do hit subscribe to be notified. Well, until next time, have a great one.